saying that to error is human, but to mess things up completely requires a computer. Dilisi O'Leary, Islam at the Crossroads says, history makes it clear, however, that the legend of fanatical Muslims sweeping through the world and forcing Islam at the point of the sword upon conquered races is one of the most fantastically absurd myths that historians have ever repeated. Fantastically absurd. Pandit Dev Sharma from India says, the critics are blind. They cannot see that the only sword Muhammad wielded was the sword of mercy, compassion, friendship, and forgiveness. The sword that conquers enemies and purifies their hearts. His sword was sharper than the sword of steel. But the biased critics of Islam are prejudicial and partisan, who are narrow-minded and whose eyes are covered by a veil of ignorance. They see fire instead of light, ugliness instead of beauty, and evil instead of good. They distort and present every good quality as a great vice. It reflects their own depravity. You've already seen the quotation from Gandhi, so I will not repeat that for now. But I want us to focus on one thing only, and this is a very, very important point. If you don't remember anything else from what I say, my brothers and sisters, please remember this point. In the West, when you study human life, it's divided into two sectors, spiritual and secular. In the spiritual, you have three things: belief, worship, and rituals, customs. Every religion has this. And in the secular side, you have social, economic, and political. These 6 branches of knowledge come together to form human life. We Muslims don't agree with this separation, but that's how they study them in the West. The secular and the spiritual should not mix. They're too separate according to them. Let me give you this statement. Please remember this. The only human being in human history who has taught all 6 subjects is Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. They will not find, I challenge anybody, another human being who has taught all 6. Either they've taught a lot of things in worship or belief, but nothing in economics. Or either they were great economists, but nothing in worship and belief. Either they were great political leaders, but left no morality for their followers. They were either hero in one place, zero in somebody else. Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam taught all 6. And there's no other human example in the history of humanity who had taught all 6 subjects. None. From the beginning of time to today, there is none who has taught all 6, but there's another part of this, inshallah, we'll come to a little bit later. So his teachings is all encompassing. We're not talking about statements being made in economics, be honest when you deal. No, detail. You don't trust me, go and open up the Bukhari and look at the index, subject index only. Go and open up Bukhari and just look at the subject index only. Detail. His teaching covered belief, one God, prophethood, life after death. His teachings covered worship, prayer, charity, good conduct, worship, the whole of life. Relationship with Allah. He was the first man in human history to teach personal hygiene to the highest standard. If you study fiqh anywhere under any scholar, the first book you come to is Tahara. Right or wrong? First book. And Tahara isn't taught in one class, it's usually 3 or 4. He was the first man to show diet. We Muslims, may Allah forgive us. Does anybody know what was the first bid'at according to Hazrat Aisha Siddiqa radiallahu anha? We are all concerned about bid'at. What was the first bid'at? She said, the bid'at that started first is we started to eat to our stomach food. Not overeating, just eating to our stomach food. Rasulullah said, the stomach is the seat of all disease.